Welcome to Author Skill Set Wednesday, and today's quote comes from Terry Pratchett, who said, "The first draft is just you telling yourself the story." Very true. Hi there, my name is Christopher D'Armani, and I help authors go from blank page to finished first draft to published book with ease. And one of the tools I help you to develop so you can do that is writing your first draft without regard for making it right, making it perfect. Getting that first draft written as fast as you possibly can. So that's what I want to talk about today. Back when I worked in the movie industry, I used to hear directors say relatively frequently, "I'll fix it in post, let's move on." And what that really meant was they were tired of dealing with that problem in the moment and they knew they could fix it later when they had more time available. Shooting days tended to be fairly limited depending on the production. And it was simply easier, even though it was more expensive, to fix it later. But the principle of don't fix it now, fix it later also applies to our first drafts. The thing we want to do is to make sure that we're getting those words onto the page. We're not concerned about what order they are, whether the paragraphs are in the right order, whether any of that stuff is perfect. At that point, it simply doesn't matter. Getting it into the can, to use that movie lingo, getting the words on the page, getting that first draft finished is the most important thing. So the other thing is that until we get those words out on the page and that first draft is done, we don't know what story we're telling ourselves. We simply don't know. We may start with the most amazing outline on the planet, the most amazing outline in recorded written history. And truly, it doesn't matter until you can get all those words onto the page, because what transpires there will be different than what's in your outline. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. Now, the beautiful thing about writing a first draft is this journey is filled with expectation, it's filled with possibility, it's filled with wonder. It's filled with all the stuff that we love about writing. So that also helps us in gaining speed. It helps us get that first draft written fast. It's also what makes that first draft such a thrill to do, right? So much fun. And speed is your friend as you careen down the road of publication highway, trying to get all those pieces of the puzzle onto the page. Really is. But you can't edit a blank page. You can't fix words that don't exist yet. You have to be working with something. You have to be working with a completed first draft, because you can work magic with all those horrible sentences that you throw out onto the page. And even though you knew they were terrible at the time, here's the truth. You can fix it all in post. You can fix it all later when the first draft is done and the editing phase begins. Those two things really need to be separate. If you're trying to edit it while you go, it really makes the entire writing process more challenging and more difficult to succeed. But when you do it, this principle that we're talking about today, it remains true no matter what you're writing. Whether you're writing a fiction book, a nonfiction book, or whether you're writing out some personal story that has deep meaning for you, and you're trying to get the facts right so that you can figure out what happened and how you can change your life for the better as a result of that experience. Because that's a beautiful thing for writing as well. Using it to dig into our past and solve the problems that are really distressing and destroying our today. We can't focus on today until we've focused on the past first. That's another one of those fundamental truths of being human and of writing. So my encouragement for you today is to get that first draft finished. Get something onto that page and then fix it in post. Because that's when you're supposed to fix it anyways, at least in the writing world. On the film set, perhaps, not the best choice, but often it's one that gets made. When we're writing our first draft, we know that we'll have time later to get it all right. So I hope that helped you a little bit today, and if it did, I would love for you to like and share it, and then share in the comments the thing that sort of struck you, that resonated with you most. I would love to hear that. I would also love for you to connect with me on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, follow my social media channels on YouTube and so on. And links to everything can be found at sleekbio.com/Christopher. So with that, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I hope you pile tons of words onto the page today in the process of getting your first draft done. I'll talk to you again tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Bye for now.